and this is my life right now. So what is it that you need to overcome to show somebody else that they can do it? Is it your skincare? Is it your hair growth? Is it weight loss? Do you have weight loss and don't even realize it because you won't take the pictures? Will you not take the pictures? Will you not take the pictures in order to hold yourself accountable? Who struggles with consistency of taking pictures? Not taking pictures, taking product. Let's talk about taking your products. Do y'all know anybody else taking products? Yeah. Do you guys know for me, who's your best accountability partner that you've ever had? I'm gonna tell you mine, but y'all tell me what's your best accountability partner you've ever had? Okay, we got your sister. All right. Okay, Ryan. Your boyfriend, okay. Husband, okay, good. Fiance, okay, y'all boo things, okay, friend. Y'all wanna know who my accountability partner is? Social media. Because when I put myself out there, I'm gotta come back. Like people gonna be like, "Hey, Rachel, what did you say you took a before picture? How you still look the same? Where you update at? Oh my God, Rachel, I can't wait to see your results." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I did say I was gonna have some results." Social media is my number one accountability partner. Let's talk about that. So y'all can unmute if y'all need to. Julie, you're so cute.
Hi.
Hey. Did you have something? Oh, you just saying, hey, okay, hey girl.
Hi.
Okay, come on, talk to me about why social media is not your accountability partner and you work a social media, I mean, right now we're on social media, that's what we're doing. Social media is a big aspect of your business. Oh, well, come on. How you want somebody to join you on something that you're not willing to share about?
Because I know I'm not where I'm supposed to be. That's why.
Where are you supposed to be? And who is judging you?
Me.
Well, that's deep. How many of us are holding ourselves back because you have expectations on yourself that aren't even realistic? Yep. Yeah, what if I don't hit it? Yeah, be honest. Yep. What if I don't do it? Well, look, how I say your name? Sierra, is that how I say it? Listen, you need to clean up your timeline and get rid of them people. Okay? ASAP. Just let's weed them out. I'll help you with that, girlfriend. We're gonna weed out all them people who just want some stuff. Yes. I'm love showing before and current pictures because we aren't in the after stage yet. I know, it's so, listen, let me show you because I will take the before picture because I know the after is coming. That's why, y'all, I took pictures after every kid, like fresh, like 2 days postpartum. Y'all ain't seen them pictures? Have y'all seen them pictures? 2 days. I was a hot mess and a half. I mean, granted, I'm just, I wasn't where I desired to be. But I was like, listen, Jesus, if I could just see just a one cellulite go away, I'm going to be like crazy, okay? Like, I'm going to show myself some grace because any progress is better than any progress is better than nothing. Who's your hype man? If you know you beat yourself up, why would you allow yourself to be your hype man? Y'all get what I'm saying? Yes, vulnerability of where you're starting. Do you know how many people will follow people who are vulnerable with where they start? And what'll happen is you may get negative like feedback and you'll have to block them. But let me tell you, if anybody got something negative to say, instead of hyping you up, they should be on your timeline anyway. You have to let them go. They shouldn't be there. So who's your hype man? All right, Money Squad, who should be your hype man?
So like back to Facebook being your accountability partner. So what I did is I took my weight and just posted on Facebook. So now when I'm being lazy and don't feel like working out, I have to, because I owe these people results. I said, here's what I weigh now. By my birthday, I'm gonna, be losing such and such pounds. And if I don't continue constantly using my products, not even that, I have to consistently order my product because it runs out. So I can just, use it for I have to continue using it, and then my auto ship, because I can't get these results, I promise these people that my products will be giving me. So with basically accountability part of just putting yourself out there, it hypes you up not to quit because you want that they too can go on the journey with you.
Yeah, and it's just something simple. It's just like, hey team, I'm about to put up a post. I'm very vulnerable about it. Like, can you guys just support me? Do you get what I'm saying? And I love that. You look good too, Brittany. I love that. I love that. I'm trying to read through, see some people like myself. I know that's right. Miss Angela Show be hyping herself up. She posts a picture of her selfie every day. Like, listen, God, the Lord bless. Okay, like sometimes you can be your own hype man, but some people can't. Like I can be mine, but y'all real supportive. Do y'all know that? And just like y'all support other people, that they'll support you too. Do you know how many people will be inspired by your willingness to be vulnerable about your journey? And that you don't have to be perfect to get it. Do you know what makes me a 1%er? I show up when other people don't. I show up when things are good. I show up when things are bad. I was just telling the team just a second ago. We've had a full day today, but our uncle passed away today, like suddenly at dialysis, after his dialysis. And I was telling him, I was like, a lot of people just wouldn't show up. It'd be like, well, we didn't have a death in the family. Like, I'll see y'all tomorrow, or I'll see y'all next week, or I'll see y'all next month. Y'all know how some people do, right? Completely just shut down. But I always show up. You know where that comes from? Your mental strength and your willingness and ability to give things over that don't belong to you. And so how can you put yourself in a position to where you're in control, not your emotions, not the way, your perspective is your moneymaker, y'all. How you view I read something, I think it was this morning or last night, I don't know, I'm reading 4 books right now, so pray for me. But yeah, that's right. That's for real. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate that. But what you see is what goes into you, which goes to your heart. And what's in your heart and what you perceive is what you end up doing. So your perspective on any given situation is a direct representation of your actions. So how about somebody just drop some scenarios in the comments about some things that you may have, like a sketchy, or if you don't feel, you can send it to me privately if you don't feel comfortable saying it. And yes, come on now. No, that's right. Your kids, for real. They actually are very good when you draw them in. So let's give a perspective of a situation. So like, let's just say a loyal customer returns an order, or like, give me some perspectives that might get you hot. And I'm gonna tell you how I view these perspectives and how my lens in which I see these things completely controls the outcome. I remember go ahead and start sending me some things, but I remember when I first told my team, I said, we don't say how far away are you from a promotion, it's how close are you. And I don't care if you need 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 in volume, it's always how close are you. You get what I'm saying? Like, you ever have somebody be like, how far are you from my house? No, how close are you, okay? Like, we looking at how close are you, not how far you are. Because I choose to see the cup as half full and not empty. And it's something you actually have to work at. I choose to see the cup half full. And if I don't see the cup half full, I'm not going to speak on it until that part. It was a sermon I was listening to, John Hannon. It's not the because when your perspective changes and it's not the way that you desire for it to be, and you open your mouth and you speak on it, guess what you're doing? You're manifesting it, because life and death is in the power of your tongue, and that's real. So when you speak these things, you ever wonder why, like, we talked about this last week, like how, if you call kids stupid all the time, or if you tell a kid to shut up, or you speaking down to them, and you wonder why they grow up with all these issues and all, but nobody ever spoke life over them. It's like a plant that when you speak to it, it dies. It's the same thing. Do you speak life over your business every day? Not just your affirmations. That's cute. But what about when somebody returns something? What about when people aren't responding to your messages? What about when nobody likes your post? Are you still speaking life over your business? Or now all of a sudden has the enemy got you in a place where you start to kill your own business by opening up your mouth? All right, let's see. Thank you for those who sent me one. It's a whole bunch of people on here. Send me something so we can shift some perspectives. When someone says the product doesn't work, that's good. So if somebody tells me the product does not work, so this is in perspective of itself, because clearly we're in business. So you can't say I will never tell anybody that their products don't work, because clearly if you're making some type of revenue, it had to work for somebody, right? So it would just be a simple, hey, like, when do you have a moment so we can kind of talk about what you're doing and how you're taking the product, so that we can see how we can get this product to work for you, or we can get you on a different product that's better for you. What is wrong with that? That does not mean, y'all, just because did I talk about this last week? Like, if I go to the nail shop, we talked about this, right? No. If I go to the nail shop and I get yellow on my nails and I think it's ugly, that don't mean that yellow is ugly. I just don't like it on my nails. You might like it on your nails, but I don't like it on mine. And that don't mean that 6 months from now, I don't think yellow cute. I might be like, oh, okay, I like yellow today, right? That don't mean yellow ugly, like, for real. It just means that day, that's the lens that I'm looking through. Y'all get what I'm saying? So it's the same thing when it comes to the products. Like, I had somebody tell me she took the Skinny Boo for a week and gained weight and was tired. No, she didn't gain weight. She was tired. And I was like, oh, that caffeine is high. So I did some research, because I want to know, how is it that somebody could be having this much caffeine and be tired? But everybody's body responds differently to caffeine. So now I got to help her out. That's my job. Not you have to lean in, because that's what teaches you, so that you can help other people. But just because there's a situation that's going on where people aren't getting the results that you thought, like, everybody doesn't have Rachel's body. You don't have my metabolism. So the regimen that I'm on, as much as I may start you on it, it may not be the best regimen for you. But I won't know that if I'll never talk to you. So, all right, when someone on my team spends so much time sharing posts instead of taking an hour to work their business, that's a conversation of just hopping on and giving them perspective. Because can you teach them? It's almost like coaching. Like, let's just say my husband, he got somebody on their team and they suck at layups. Or we gonna say they suck at layups. We're gonna say that they could grow in the area of layups. Okay. right? So if he has somebody on his team that needs help with that, and as a coach, it is his job during practice to correct what it is that he's doing to give him the results of being able to do better layups. So when you remove your feelings from the situation, instead of just being irritated, you understand that it's your job to teach him. Now, let me tell you, what if Breon tells him at every practice how to do layups and you keep doing it wrong? Guess what? He either gonna sit him on the bench or he gonna keep correcting him until he get it right. Because that's his job as his coach. So you got to remove yourself from being irritated, and then if they're not going to listen, you have to release them. And that don't mean you got to be mean or anything like that. You just releasing them until they're ready to hear your voice. You know, what's so crazy is like everybody who's on here, like everybody is hearing something different. Everyone is grasping something different. If I ask you guys what you got out of this, everybody got something different because everybody is in different stages of life. And at any given stage, you hear something different. My ears are different from your ears. My perspective is different from your perspective. And so you have to understand when your team comes in, they may not hear because they're not ready to hear. So keep that in mind. Cancellation, I don't tell them about the $50 cancellation fee. So question, did you not tell them about the cancellation fee? Or did they have amnesia? Because if you didn't tell them, then that's on you. Because I'm okay with saying, I think our customer program is bomb. Let me tell y'all what's happened to many people. Many people have heard too many broke people say no, that now you think there's a problem with our customer program. So let me give you a news flash. A lot of people like Sam's and Costco. Rachel actually has the business Sam's, okay? A lot of people. And it's another one, right? I love their program. I love getting gas there for the low, okay? Like, I love all their perks. I like when I go in the morning, they got a little muffin for me, but I don't even eat breakfast no more because keto coffee or skinny food, right? But I love those little perks. I love being able to go in before the rush. I can go in super early, 7 a.m. Of course, I ain't with nobody's store now. I like getting free shipping when I order online. Like, I am a consumer, and I love the convenience. Me. Now, some of y'all mean, but I'm not paying that monthly. I'm not paying Sam's no money. I'm gonna go to Walmart. And that's fine, baby. Go to Walmart. Like, that don't take away from the fact that I love Sam's. Y'all get what I'm saying? So you have to lean in to the fact that they don't have to pay a $50 fee. Some people, you gotta pay a fee. But we get to help them in the area of their consistency. How many people have ever started a weight loss anything and stopped after 2 weeks? Okay, everybody, you lying if you raise your hand. It's normal. And so I tell people like, hey, our loyal customer program is to help you be consistent. That's what it's here for. It's to help you be consistent over 90 days. If you can't afford it, we can push it back. But guess what? If you actually talk to your customers, you would know if they could afford it or not. You would have more retention if you actually talk to them instead of just praying that they order ran. You would have more retention if you didn't wait until it actually ran and actually said, hey, like, did you drink your keto coffee this month? No, okay, let's switch to something else. Because now you're about to have all this coffee and then you're not going to keep ordering past 3 months. Oh, Rachel, I had a customer who told me every time, I don't got the money this Friday, but you can run it next. I'd be like, all right, baby. She's like, look, I need my TFX. And so we created a good relationship because it was like, I mean, I would rather you tell me than us just, and I tell them that at the beginning, like, please communicate with me. I would love to hear how it's going. If you're having any struggles, I want to hear the good and the bad. I'm okay. Y'all, it's the color yellow. It's okay if they don't like the product. We got 50 others. We have a lot of products. So it's okay if they don't like that. I could not like Sam's meat, but I'm still gonna get the toilet paper. Like, what that mean? They still gonna get toilet paper for me? You know, but I mean, I don't, y'all get what I'm saying? So tell them, like, it's okay to tell them about the $50 fee. It's okay. Like, we waive the $50 membership fee. And so I tell them, like, if it doesn't work, we can just reevaluate and see what works better for you on next month. But it might not even be the product. It might be their habits. And so what can you do to shift their habits? Do they need to be on fat fighters? Do they need to be on carb control? Do we need to get them on Skinny Brew every day? Do you need to walk them through a FaceTime like this to show them how to make Skinny Brew? To make them feel like they're important to you? Because people like to know where their dollar's going. And if they feel like they're really helping you out, like, I'll buy books from Us Born if somebody actually really shared their story with me. Is that what's called, Us Born? I done got so many doggone. Let me tell y'all this. So before I keep going, people buy people, not product. Okay, people buy people, not product. If people do not know who you are based on your page, they may or may not. If they buy from you, it might just because either one, they're supporting you, or two, they just like the product and they just trying to find any distributor. But they probably won't continue buying unless they just get on an automatic order because they like the product. Do y'all get what I'm saying? But when people understand that they are buying into a dream that's bigger than them, they like that. They be like, oh, my cleanse help Rachel stay home with her kids. Oh, her kids are so cute. My cleanse is going to a purpose. I'm grateful for my customers. And they know, like, it could be, what are you using for? To pay, like, for me, private school. It was like, because of your purchase, I'm able to keep my kid in private school. It's okay to need people. So when they go to your page, do they know your 5? You know, we talked about this on a call that I just got off of, but if y'all don't know what your 5 is, like, y'all need to figure it out ASAP. Like, my 5 is motherhood, marriage, Jesus, empowerment, and all things health and wellness. That's me. You go to my page, you're going to see that. It works is not me, it's what I do. So what's your 5? And if I go to your page right now, would I know that? And let me tell you, when you're going through things and you're struggling, that is the perfect time to empower yourself while empowering others. Yeah, I remember back when I first started this business and I really started to go through some different things in 2014, 15, every morning and night, I would share morning thoughts and evening thoughts. And it would just be me encouraging myself while encouraging other people. I probably, you can go on Facebook and hashtag morning thoughts and my stuff will pop up. Whole bunch of them, whole bunch of quotes. And so whatever God had on my heart, like that morning, I would find a post that was similar to it and I would post it, not just to encourage myself, but to encourage other people. Because if I'm struggling and I'm trying to overcome situations and circumstances, how many other people are too? So it's the same thing. Like, I love showing that. Like, my house is, there's times when, like, Zayden, he's 2, okay? But because of God's grace, I got some patience. I did. I prayed for patience back in 2015, and God gave me 2 more kids, 2 more boys. Did. So be careful what you pray for. Families say they will help or support, but they don't, and keep on. I got you. Oh wait, where are we at? Yes. How much is it, and goes through all the motions and backs out knowing they were going. Okay. When someone says how much is it and goes through all the motions, then backs out knowing they were not going to buy in the beginning and just want to see what you do, that's trifling. But a lot of times when people back out, it's because they don't have the money and they're too embarrassed to say, I don't have the money. I tell people all the time, like, yo, if you can't buy, like let's just say right now, if something that costs $50 and I can't buy that, you're broke. Like, you need to offer that person the business. If they don't have $20 to their name until they payday, they need this business. And I'll say this, they need this business, but they also need money management. But the biggest thing is this business will bring you into money management because of how our business is and how we talk about these type of things. the environment that they're going to be put in to help you become a better person, to become a better steward. Then it becomes more than just a sale. Do you get what I'm saying? So I lean into that, and I will say, hey, is finances a problem? Because if it is, we can pick a different day. And then I also still ask them for a host of hosts. Now, if they truly ratchet and just want to know what you're doing, I would say, hey, this is my business, so kind of just be mindful of my time. So if you just wanted to know what it is that I'm doing, then you could just ask, and I'm more than willing to share. And that's just being a business owner. You know what I'm saying? Like, no feelings attached, just more so like, hey, if you're not necessarily interested in the product, it's okay to just ask the questions that you want to ask so that you're not wasting my time. And like I said, no feelings, just business. Yeah. Well, my DT not asking for help, and I can't get mad because I don't ask for help. Jesus. Listen, Brittany, you speaking a word, okay? Because listen. Who give and it shall come back to you. Good measures. That's real. And so that just goes back to yourself. Listen, from the head flows. Like, this is a real thing, y'all. Let me tell you. So you are dripping oil on your team. Did you know that? And it ain't always good oil. Whatever is flowing off of you is flowing down to your organization. So if you're struggling with something, 9 times out of 10, your team is struggling with the same thing. Your team don't show up, do you? Consistently? Do you hold them accountable? Because I'm going to tell y'all this, I hold people accountable to what I do. Right? So if I do something, it's going to be so, like, for example, everybody on the team be like, when somebody is struggling, I'm always like, what are you reading? Because I know if you ain't getting your mind right, like, that's the number one thing for me. It allows me to work my business proficiently for years. And that don't mean that I don't have bad days. I have bad days. I do, for sure, 100%. My husband on here, y'all can ask him if y'all want to ask him. I have bad days. But it's what you do when you have those bad days that counts. What do? Do I just continue to have a bad day, or do I shut down and fill my cup and come back? Do I go and kick the rocks and then come back and dust my shoe off? Or do I just allow myself to be pissed off and, carry it over to the next day? So, something to think about. Yeah. All right. Why I don't want to do. I think when I get my Bind Me together, I will. Yes, you sure will. Don't do more. All right, so yes, pray, journal, and worship. Amen. Fill your cup and come back. All right, who got something today? Tell me about your last week and how you're implementing things and changing your life. And no, you're not drinking keto coffee at 8:30 at night. Like, you finna be up. You finna be up. I'm sorry, that's sidebar. You finna be wide awake. All right. So tell me about y'all weeks. What y'all implement? How are things changing for you? What are some things that are really shifting in your mindset in terms of what you're learning here? I know we might have some new people on here, but let's talk to those who've been showing up and how this is really just helping you shift and move your feet.
I gotta turn my camera on. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So, I matured over this last week. I mean, I was mature, but I spiritually matured over the last week, which because it had just been a lot going on. I had just disconnected from a lot of stuff. And thank you, Rachel, for checking on me because I really needed that. But I spiritually matured. I had to really sit back because I was in the whole spirit of giving up. Like, it was trying to come over me, and I was like, nah, I ain't got time for that, homie. Like, no. And then I had, all of a sudden, it's like God was like, no, you know, just like, don't give up. And I had team members that literally hadn't been working a business that were coming back when it was almost time for their annual renewal. And they was like, yeah, you know, this, like, I'm ready now, and all of this stuff. You know, the stuff that's going on now, it's not good, but it kind of seems like a blessing in disguise, because now all of a sudden a lot of people's eyes have been open to how big of an opportunity that this is, and how I'm sorry, y'all, I got my boyfriend on speakerphone. And how important it is to have like this opportunity and what it can actually do for your life. So I spiritually matured, and I just really been trying to tap into God a lot more. And I had to watch the old ones too, because I hadn't been here in a while, but I'm back.
That's so good. Yes, Galatians 6:9, baby. I'm gonna tell you, but at that moment where you feel like walking away, and that's how the enemy gets us. You know, he gets you to your breaking point. Come on, Carrie Hilson. Okay. Anyway, y'all know I've been in the world a long time. So y'all know that song? Okay, I'm moving on. So yes, at that point, right there in that point, and if you're not willing to back down and give up, like, there's so much, oh my God, y'all, the reward on the other side. Let me tell you. You'd be like, I can't even believe I was about to give up on all this. Like all of this. Marion said, it's not them, it's me. That's a word. And let me tell you, when you realize that, that's so crazy. Let me tell you, maybe about 3 years ago, I had a rap party here at my house. 2 years ago, rap party here at my house. And one of the guys who was a guest here, he was like, well, what was the biggest like thing where things just shifted for me? And that was what I said. That was when everything shifted, when I understood that it was never them, it was always me. If I was not successful in my business, it was always me, not them. It wasn't that they wouldn't buy my product. It wasn't that they don't show up on meetings. It wasn't that they don't close their box. It was always me. And when I realized that, I got my power back. I could not believe I was giving so much power to so many other people to completely run my business. I couldn't believe, do y'all know how much power you give away to other people? You know, let me tell you about the scripture. You know, the scripture about turning the other cheek and 7 times 70. I was like, turn the other cheek? What you mean giving the other cheek to slap? Are you crazy? But I was like, why is it strength to hit back? Like, how does that make you strong? If somebody hits you, does it take more strength to hit them back or to not hit them? How strong do you have to be? How much self-control do you have to be to not hit somebody back that had hit you? Bruh, that's strength. Just to let them hands fly, that's not strong. Anybody can do that. That's normal. When somebody hits you, you want to hit them back. That's the automatic response. That ain't strength. But to sit there and not hit them back, whew, that's crazy. To forgive them when they ain't even sorry, that's strength. It's crazy. Come on, Skinny Brew. Yes. Oh, that's so good. I'm so happy to have you here. He wants us busy. Yes. Intentional about your time. Yes, Charlotte. I love that. Let's talk about that. Did we recently talk about that? These distractions? Okay. So let's talk about distractions. You know what? I'm gonna read y'all something. I read this to my other crew, and I actually shared this with the team, and I'm gonna read it to you guys today. And I don't mind sharing it. But you know what? Let me I'm gonna hop on here and I'm gonna share my screen so you guys can see it, so I'm not just reading it. And we'll talk through these last few minutes about this. And it's this book I'm reading. and I've been talking about this all day. And y'all, I was reading this last night, and I was like, what in the world, okay? So let's hit the chat up about what I'm about to read. All right, so there is something called the urgency addiction. Okay, the name of this book is, what's the name of this book? I'll get it for y'all. The name of this book, I don't know. So the urgency addiction, it says some of us get so used to the adrenaline rush of handling crises that we become dependent on it for a sense of excitement and energy. How does urgency feel? Stressful, pressured, tense, exhausting? Sure. But let's be honest, it's also sometimes exhilarating. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'd be like, oh, you know, you got to run and you get it in last minute. You be like, oh, yes, I did it. I made it. Ooh, y'all wrote a paper, you be like, ooh, it's midnight, I made it, you know? Y'all know what I'm talking about. It says you feel useful, we feel successful, we feel validated, and we get good at it. How many people good at, I was good at it. This was real life in college for me, y'all. I didn't write a paper unless it was last minute. Like when the last minute, like I could write a 10-page paper in like 2 hours. Real talk. Like that was me. It was sad. And I became really, really good at it, honestly. It says, whenever there's trouble, we ride into town, pull out our 6-shooter, do a vermin in, blow the smoke off the gun barrel, and ride into the sunset like a hero. It brings instant results and instant gratification. We get a temporary high. A lot of people do this month in, y'all. The urgency addiction. You do this month in. You get a temporary high from solving urgent and important crises. Then when the importance isn't there, the urgency fix is so powerful, we are drawn to do anything urgent just to stay in motion. People expect us to be busy, overwork. It becomes a status symbol in our society. If we're busy, we're important. If we're not busy, we're almost embarrassed to admit it. Busyness is where we get our security. It's validated, popular, and pleasing. It's also a good excuse for dealing with the first things in our lives, with not dealing with the first things in our life. So I'd love to spend quality time with you, but I have to work. There's this deadline. It's urgent. Of course you don't understand. Of course you understand. Excuse me. I just don't have time to exercise. I know it's important, but there are many pressing things right now. Maybe when things slow down a little bit. Like what? Urgency addiction is a self-destructive behavior that is temporary, that temporarily fills the void created by unmet needs. Woo. Unmet needs. Wow. And instead of meeting these needs, the tools and approaches of time management often feed the addiction. They keep us focused on daily prioritization of the urgent. So what are you supposed to, this one right here was big. Realizing that you're not only an addict, but you're actually a pusher. So you push people into the spirit of urgency. It's big. That's big. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yep. I'll get you out of it. It's called First Things First. That's what the name of the book is called. First Things First. Yep. Yes, you are. That's good, Marion. All right, so keep going. It says, we're so caught up in doing, we don't even stop to ask if what we're doing really needs to be done. So it says the important task really must be done today or even this week. The urgent task calls for instant action. The momentary appeal of these tasks seem irresistible and important. Y'all know it to be like, oh, I just got to do it right now. I just got to do it right now. And they devour your energy, but in the lifetime's perspective, their deceptive prominence fades. With a sense of loss, we recall the vital tasks we pushed aside. Because then you be remembering like, oh, I was supposed to do such and such. You doing something totally different. You realize you become slaves to the tyranny of the urgent. So many of the traditional time management tools actually feed the addiction, y'all. You might actually be feeding the addiction. So, people not gonna like this, but I'm gonna say it because that's just who I am. So it says daily planning and to-do lists essentially keep us focused on prioritizing and doing the urgent. And the more urgent we have in our lives, the less important we have. So this is why I will do a 6 list, but they ain't my thing. And this is why. because I do way more than a 6 list in a day. And if I have a to-do list, like of stuff that's just need to be done, that's one thing. But this is why I'm coming back. I'm just cut off. Sorry. This is why to-do lists are like death to me. But I will do them if I'm in a push or something like that. So it says the more urgency we have in our lives, the less importance we have. So you want to move to importance, y'all. It says many important things that contribute to our overall objectives and give richness and meaning to life don't tend to act upon us or press us because they're not urgent. They are things that we must, they are the things we must act upon. So what's so crazy is you miss many of the important things because you live in a life of urgency. Do y'all get what I'm saying? So you're not doing the things that are really important because you live in this life of urgency. So I'm going to take you guys through, this was big for me, and I'm excited because this book actually goes, so if you're interested, it's called First Things First, but if you're actually interested, you go through, it takes you through each quadrant and shows you how to live in quadrant 1 and 2. You really want to live in 2, but there's 4 quadrants. So I'm going to take y'all through these, and you tell me, and I just had a crew do this, but you tell me which quadrant you live in right now, currently, okay? It says many important things that contribute to our overall objectives and give richness and meaning to life don't tend to act upon us or press us because they're not urgent. They are things that we must act upon, things you got to do, not like you're responding to them. You don't have to react to them. All right, so 4 quadrants. It says we spend time in one of these 4 ways. Quadrant 1, guys, represents things that are both urgent and important. Here's where we handle an irate client, meet a deadline, repair a broken down machine, undergo heart surgery, or help a crying child who has been hurt. We need to spend time in quadrant 1. So this is where we manage, where we produce, where we bring our experience and judgment to bear in responding to many needs and challenges. If we ignore it, we become buried alive. So it's like you have to handle it. But we also need to realize that many important activities become urgent because of procrastination or because we don't have enough prevention or planning. Ding, 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 ding. Oh my God, it's so real, right? Quadrant 2, y'all, this is where we want to live. We want to live in quadrant 2, okay? Quadrant 2 is the quadrant of quality. So here's where we do our long-range planning, anticipate and prevent problems, empower others, broaden our minds, and increase our skills through reading and continuous professional development, right? Envision how we're going to help a struggling son or daughter prepare for important meetings and presentations, or invest in relationships through deep, honest, and listening. Increasing time spent in this quadrant increases our ability to do. Ignoring this quadrant feeds and enlarges quadrant 1, where you're just constantly having fires to put out, creating stress, burnout, and deeper crises for the person consumed by it. On the other hand, investing in quadrant 2, it shrinks quadrant 1. So you got planning, preparation, prevention. It keeps many things from becoming urgent. Quadrant 2 does not act upon us. You have to actually do it. It's not something that you react to. So it's the quadrant of personal leadership, learning to lead yourself. I'll get you guys the offer in a second. So quadrant 3, y'all. If y'all gonna be honest and say amen or ouch today, quadrant 3 and 4 is where most people live, and this is why your business is not taking off. Quadrant 3 is almost the phantom of quadrant 1. It includes things that are urgent but not important. This is the quadrant of deception. The noise of urgency creates the illusion of importance, but the actual activities, if they're important at all, are only important to someone else, not you. Many phone calls, meetings, drop-in visitors fall into this category. You spend a lot of time in quadrant 3 meeting other people's priorities and expectations, thinking you're in quadrant 1 and that they're really that important, and if you don't put out the fire, everybody gonna die, but that's not the truth. Who is that? That's where a lot of people live, y'all. And then quadrant 4 is just you ain't ready to be legit in your business. Quadrant 4, and you can get sucked into quadrant 4, y'all. Quadrant 4 is the quadrant of waste. It's reserved for activities that are not urgent and not important. So, and I'm gonna tell you, this is circumstantial, not concrete. So there are times where you may need to go into quadrant 3, like if somebody has an emergency, but you do it with an open heart and mind, but not reactive. You actually respond to it. But quadrant 4 is not necessarily it's not necessarily recreational things, because recreation is, in the true sense of recreation, is quadrant 2. It's taking care of yourself. But reading addictive light novels, habitually watching mindless television shows, gossiping around the water fountain at the office, talking about your teammates and what they're not doing, complaining about a customer who feels some type of way, that type of stuff. It qualifies for quadrant 4. It's a time waster. Quadrant 4 is not survival, it's deterioration. It may have an initial cotton candy feel, but we quickly find that there's nothing there. Says it's easy to think because something is urgent, it's important. Oh, that's crazy, right? Who got something to say about that?
This week, my husband, I was doing a live and I was doing my coffee. It was one of the best lives I've ever done. And I was like, oh, yes. And then he calls and I pick up instead of telling him no or declining. And I said, he just messed up my life. And God told me, no, you allowed him to.
Yeah. Well, the answer, everybody's husband's different, okay? So you might do this. Just go. But sometimes it's not urgent. Sometimes it's not. It's real. Are you allowing other people to mess your business up? That's like every time my baby cry, I run out of this room. Like they daddy can't handle it. He got it. POP, hold it down. And y'all know good and well, if he need me, he gonna open this door and hand me a kid. You know, I'm on a call. Your mama call and don't need nothing. I'm not saying don't call your mom, because you should build quality relationships. But you know when your mom call you too much, tell her call her girlfriend. I'm just saying, right? Yeah, it is. It definitely is. But this mommy builds a 5-figure-a-month business, soon to be 6, from home. And so if I don't have those boundaries, I'll never be able to do that. So yeah, I get it. Go journal, mama. You sure right. Get your mama a journal. Be like, mama, listen. I got this Jesus talking to you. You and Jesus can start talking. In Jesus' name. So, now let me get y'all the name of that book. Who got something? Anything just like really shifted in your perspective, or anything that's just popping out to you today in terms of what you think that you may be able to pinpoint in order to finish out your month? I'm typing in the comments.
So lately, I've really been focusing on wanting to change someone else's life. So I'm not really focusing on me necessarily, but changing someone else's life. And you guys put the opportunity out there where we could help someone to start for free. So I've really been focusing on helping these people get the message out for their samples so that they can start for free. And I'm actually enjoying it, just seeing people are messaging like, "Ooh, I got to respond," or so how do I set up a PayPal? Or so I'm teaching people how to set up PayPal that's never used PayPal before, just helping someone do something different that they've never done before. Is just exciting, and just really focusing on changing someone else's life so that mine could change as well.
That's it. That's all we do. That's all we do. And the more you do it, the more effective it becomes. But the thing is, there's a difference between somebody who shows up, like y'all hopped on this because y'all wanted to change your life, right? You want to change your life. It's not because somebody's making you come. And so at the end of the day, you can support other people, but it's up to them to show up. And when people show up, Sorry, guys. My internet's not. You guys hear me? Yeah. Okay, sorry. Y'all know my internet be acting janky. Anyways, I'm back. Listen.
Do the job, what's to do whatever task it is, but just not willing to do it to somebody who I was last time I was in the business. I was doing, but I wasn't doing enough. This time around, I know everything that I need to do, and I know who to reach out to, and I got a whole different perspective of everything. It's so much easier now. It was really hard. So the difference is you not knowing and not being able to because you don't know and scared to ask questions, opposed to you know this, you know that, but you like, well, hell, I know it, but okay, I get to it. That's just like the book you was just talking about. I'll get to it when it's urgent for me.
Yeah.
Does that?
Yeah. Keisha, what were you gonna say?
I would say I had actually like a perfect example. I had two new people, and they's like, I don't know what to post, and I was like, have you got your coffee? So my challenge for you is just to go live and make the coffee. And whatever that looks like for you. If you want to talk, if you don't want to say anything. And both of them virtually had the same response. The first one said, oh my gosh, that is not me. Like, I cannot go live. And I said, do you want the shopping spree and do you want your business to be successful? Yes. And that's what she said. And what I found from one person was she did have a fear of it, but she wasn't unwilling. It was just I needed to coach her through her fear. Whereas the other person was like, that's just ain't me. I don't do that. And so I could tell the difference between I want to be able to do it, I'm just scared, versus I'm not going to do it because that's what I don't do. And so that I think that's what the difference is for me. It's not saying they're not saying I'm unwilling. They're just saying I'm scared. I've never done it. And so you can tell clearly from the language of a person if they're just saying like I'm just no, that ain't me. I'm not doing that, versus like, okay, you asked me to do this. I'm just scared. You know what I mean? And being able to walk her through that and telling her, you know what, you're probably going to be scared until you press start. But just do it. And so I really could just tell the difference in her response to me and wanting me to take her to the next level. Like, how do I get out of this place of being fearful? Yeah. So that was my, experience for the week was actually even tying into that was just the whole relationship piece where the information that we give is consistent, but the delivery has to be different. And that has helped me a lot this week is really taking the time, the way I talk to and train the other person. It may just have to be different. It doesn't make it wrong. It's just different. But as a leader, I have to be open to discerning that and understanding that okay, yes, the information is the same, but it's my job to know how my delivery needs to be for this person. So my goal for my new distributors, I'm just going to put this out there, at least one of my new distributors is in top enrollers. So one was last week. And so but it puts something on me, but I know I can't teach them all the same. I'm giving them all the same information, but I have to figure out, okay, what works for her. And that's not my job. That's my job, not hers.
That's good. Putting it on yourself, because that just goes back to the whole layup situation, y'all. Like, y'all have to understand that you are here to coach them, not to play for them. Woo! Y'all hear that? Coach them, not play for them. Coach them, because at the end of the day, when you're out, do y'all know a coach has a box? Not everybody. Y'all have seen coaches get out their box, so not everybody stays in their box. But the coach is supposed to stay in this box on the floor. I don't know if y'all realize that on the floor. There's an actual box that the coach is supposed to stay in. And all they can do is use their words to help their players do what it is that they've taught them how to execute when they were actually on the floor with them during practice, right? So you have to think about it like that. So that was great. Like, that's real. And the difference is, do they show up or do they start ignoring you? Like, if people who are ignoring you, and even for me though, like I told y'all before, even if they're ignoring me, I still have a process for myself that I do regardless of whether you show up or not, because my mentorship and my coaching doesn't change just because you are you. I'm still me regardless of you being you. And you being you will not stop me from being me, because if you doing you can stop me from being me, then I'm not really me. I'm actually a pawn. Y'all get what I'm saying? That means I actually, I'm regulated based on I'm a thermometer, not a thermostat. So are you a thermometer out here trying to act like you're a thermostat, but you're not? You don't set temperatures. You just adapt to the temperature of whatever room or situation or circumstance that you're in. Because at the end of the day, everybody can be turned up, but because of the nature of me filling my cup, I'm probably not going to be turned up with you, because that's just not me anymore. Oh, Jesus. Golden time to help people. Yes, it is. People are listening more now than ever. What's going on? I keep telling myself now, yes. So true. All right, guys, I'm going to, good. Thank you so much for getting on. I'm just going to seal it with a prayer here. If you guys can just hold on a few seconds, and then we actually have a power hour. If you guys would love to stay on with us, that's fine. I'm going to bed, hashtag 5 a.m. club. But I appreciate those who like to stay up late and work. Okay, I love it at all aspects of life on our team. Dear Heavenly Father, God, we're just grateful for this space and time. God, I'm just praying that even in the midst of today and the meeting being a little different today with me sharing a lot, God, I'm just praying that something that I shared today was exactly what someone needed to hear in order to shift their perspective and guard their eyes in terms of what they're allowing themselves to see, so they can guard what comes into their heart, so they can guard what comes out and what they actually do and the things that come out of their mouth and the things that they're speaking and manifesting over their business, over their life, over their family. God, in the midst of this situation, I'm praying that because of their perspective changing, that they're able to be the light for those who are dealing with all type of things going on, God, regular life stuff on top of COVID-19, on top of quarantine, God, on top of everything, God. Allow us to be the perspective shifters, God. Give us the wisdom and the discernment to go out and not allow people of negativity to speak over our lives, but remove those things, to remove all doubt, and allow the sun to shine in our life, because we know the God that we serve. So I'm just praying over each individual of these next 6 days, finishing out the month strong, going after it. Even if they desire to go over after a more bonus at the beginning of this month, just knowing that if they just dig their heels in, who knows, Mark may bring it back next month. But if they don't put themselves in position to finish this month strong, they'll never be in position to get it next month. So God, keep us in the mindset of moving forward, because that's what you desire for us. So God, I'm just praying that casting down any type of fear, any type of pride, any type of shame that people may be feeling because of their lack of performance, God, and putting them in the spirit of consistency and persistence and being brave and patient in the meantime. So we just love you so much. We love you. We thank you for this space, and I'm just praying a double portion over everybody on this call. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.